will he be able to hold this? I think if he lifts the tank off, he may have a chance here, but it's going to be close.
He very well should lift that tank off and use those Phoenix wisely. He doesn't want to push those Phoenix out right on top of the Marines because those Marines will just destroy them. There we go, one force field going down, not in a prestigious position. It will cause some problems as we see these 4 Phoenix now pushing out, taking some heavy damage, but also picking up an SCV and a Marine, doing the damage to those Marines and SCVs. Another force field going down, blocking off the top of this ramp. But you know what? These freaking siege tanks have the vision, they have the room, and they have the range. And I don't know, man. This is looking very bad for Diderot.
It is, and he just doesn't have enough gas to get out the Stalkers at the moment. We'll have to either risk using just a very low Stalker count and those Zealots, or we'll just have to invest into more Phoenixes. And it looks like those gateways have finished up. They have not been converted yet, and that is very, very bad for Didara at the moment. And all of those are inside of his base. The tanks, however, are being leapfrogged up and chrono boosting out as best he can. But I don't know, man. I just don't think he has enough ready. Not really enough Phoenixes to lift them off at the moment.
You know what, and he's going to lift off one of those tanks, but these Marines continue to punish the rest of the forces that are out right now for Diderot. And Diderot lifts off the second tank, now starting to do some damage, but he's going to throw out the GG, and Maker is going to tie the series up, bringing us to a best of freaking 3 right now. So it is going to be a tied up game as we go into game number 3. And Maker doing a very, very nice job with his timing with that push. Dero not able to really handle it. So that was pretty awesome. And we're going to be getting into our next game here in just a second here, folks. Let us know who you feel like you want to win. It is tied up at this point. Join our chat, hang out a little bit. If you guys want to see Diderot win or you want to see Maker win, let us know as it is tied up. Hopefully you guys can, do a little bit of fun betting between each other in the chat. The next map is going to be One Must Fall. You guys can go ahead and read about that right now as we get it loaded up. All right. So, Fire Silver, you all ready to go, man? Because we've got this next game, and it is going to be a great one as they have tied up the scores 1-1.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, here we go then. Let's go ahead and get this rocking and rolling in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we are in the grand finals of the map of the month. And yes, it is a Root Diderot against Maker. Maker spawning down here at the bottom of One Must Fall as the orange Terran. Up here at the top of One Must Fall, we've got Root Diderot as the purple Protoss. So very nice players here and very epic matches going on as we do see it tied up 1-1 right now. That means that it has turned from a best of 5 to a best of 3. You know what? Let's go ahead and look at the map right now. It is rotationally expansion. You can expand rotationally very easily, as you do see the natural is right outside of that ramp as norm. There is a one big choke with some high ground area to place some tanks on and watch over this choke point. Then there's a ramp over here rotationally over to the third base, which is very simple to take as well. And then you can move your way down, or you can decide to take the middle, which only has a one Vespane Geyser. There is also a set of rocks in the middle of this map, which will block out from any really early on attacks, because you can't just cut right through the middle of the map. You've got to go all the way in and around the map just to get to your opponent's base. What do you think, Fire?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. And Maker actually kind of scared of a little bit of cheese here. He was going around the edges of his base. We'll find nothing, however. But we see him going for the wall-in once again, and actually going with a slightly faster rushed supply depot at 14 supplies. So he doesn't want a probe to get in the first place. As we see Didaro now moving his probe in all different directions, seems to be going to the right base now, as he does realize there's only one possible spawning location. But Didaro, with nice pylon placement, can walk down onto this low ground and also has good vision of his ramp. Did go with a slightly economical 13 gateway here, as we see the first Marine coming out for Maker. The Cybernetics score now going down, but Dodoro is still on one gas. I'm interested to see if he is going to go for that second gas, because a map like this is a very, very wide natural. And, you know, if he does choose to go for some sort of aggressive tactic, it's great to have that good concave as Protoss, especially when trying to force field a ramp. But we'll see if he does decide to be aggressive, because the series is tied up with 1-1. So both players have a kind of chuck away game they can use to try and get a win here. But Dodoro going with a second gas now, so it looks like we will see that kind of take up from Dodoro and leaning towards not seeing a 4-gate here. But it now is chronoing out both the Cybernetic score and the Stalker out of that, so wants to deny scouting as soon as possible, and I'm curious to why that would be, especially with this pylon right at the back of his mineral line.
Yeah, that's right, and you know, he's gonna be getting that Stalker out here in just a second. That Stalker will be able to counter scout or take out any SCV that is in a forward position. But it looks like Maker's gonna go ahead and pull his SCV back. He goes, I know what's going on in the base right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pull back. I'm not gonna do anything cheesy. We do see the Stalker now scouting for a little bit of cheese. Gonna be going and hitting the Xel'Naga Watchtower here on the right, and then moving over to the left-hand side, and probably even going to try to charge that ramp just a little bit to see what exactly Maker has up his sleeve. But you know what, Fire Silver, let's just look real fast. What does he have up his sleeve?
Well, I don't know, man. How'd you spell barracks?
Well, I think it spells
Looks like-
R-A-P-E.
Or maybe in your book stuff. I know you do ever so hate 2-racks openers and all that jazz against you. It does make you rage ever so hard. But you know, Maker doesn't have any add-ons on these, so could we see very, very fast mass Marines here? But Maker is getting this expansion up at the same time with Dodoris, and neither player can really do any sort of very, very tight all-in attacks, because they're spending those 400 minerals, and the economy will be equal for both players.
Definitely, definitely, and it looks like Maker just getting a lot of Marines out. Now we'll be able to push down to his natural, take out the one Stalker here, and lay down his natural expansion indefinitely. Looking at it, we do see that Dodoro still making his expansion, making it known, making it warping it in, as more gateways are down here from Dodoro, and I don't know, man. Maker thwarting off that Stalker, a very good move, and getting that expansion out just a little bit before Dodoro gets his.
Yeah, and it just shows the importance of scouting. I mean, had Dodoro seen this, any sort of 4-gate or very, very early Stalker pressure would have completely demolished him with the right micro, and Maker did a good job of denying that, so he was able to open and get this kind of advantage by having that early expansion. And we just see tech labs galore going down on these, so could we see a reactor on the final one? But he is moving, and Dodoro with 3 Stalkers, so I'm interested to see if this attack is actually going to do a lot of damage to Dodoro. He has a lot of sentries though, but you don't want to waste that energy unnecessarily.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. And look at this. We do see these Marines moving forward. The force field's going down. One Stalker getting taken out. But these Gauss rifles aren't going to pay the Bulldog here, as these Guardian shields are down and out. And the extra armor for those units is a very nice indeed, as we see these Marines now trying to get the hell out of there. Moving back to the base is what they need to do. They need to gather up with their Marine brethren and decide to take this out altogether. But it looks like a counter push going down from Dodoro right now, as he starts to move across the map on the Imperial March to try to take down Maker.
Yep, and now Marauders are on the field, and I don't think Dodoro would be expecting to see 3 Marauders out on the field, because that is an extremely quick 4-ranks transition from doing that fast expansion. But he is researching the Stimpak, and you know, as I always say, Stimpak for a Terran suggests that he's going to be on the defensive now. Concussive is the more offensive upgrade, and it looks like he's going to have to. That attack wasn't in his best interest, you know. It didn't really work out as well as it could have, and Dodoro can now really take these 2 Xel'Naga Watchtowers and really have no punishment for actually taking them both. There is the destructible rocks, so he is able to see any attack route other than the destructible rocks, but they do take a while to break down. And he's just taking up like a madman. He's getting +2 armor on the way, which is suggesting very, very heavy Zealots, and especially with the charge upgrade as well. I think we could see a very, very Zealot heavy attack soon from Dodoro. And you know, with a lot of Marauders mixed in and not many sentries, it's going to work out very, very well if he times it right.
Yeah, you know, it looks like there is a forward or a probe moving forward now out of the base, possibly going to be laying down a forward pylon. But this Stalker checking out the composition moving forward here from Maker, as Maker will drop down on this Xel'Naga watchtower. Will this probe go for an expansion? Hard to say at this point. We very well could see it, but you know what, man? This charge a lot type of play could be very effective against these Marines and Marauders.
Yep, and any Terran players watching, if you do want to have Nightmares tonight, with a Zealot with +1 armor, it does have a base armor of 1, and if you put up Guardian Shield, it will take you 38 shots, about that, from a Marauder to kill it.
Yeah.
So, I think you can understand why Dodoro is feeling slightly confident in having this heavy Zealot army. I definitely would not like to play Terran just for this purpose, and he is chrono out these upgrades like mad. The Robo just finishing up now, along with the robotic space. Could we see a charged lot Colossus mix very, very possibly? But Maker seems to be just keep getting on these Marauders. We don't see any ghosts. We see +1 making its way out kind of late now, and now going with the Medivacs. So once again, it doesn't seem like he drops many scans. He hasn't actually seen much of Dodoro's base for a long time.
And it's unfortunate that he's not scouting so well. He is sending out that floating factory, as that factory driver is like, oh God, why me all the time? Oh great! And here comes a giant group of forces to try to take down this factory, as he doesn't want to allow any type of scouting. Here comes an observer now over the middle of the map, going to be checking out the composition here. That's out for Maker, as Maker moves this unit composition forward. He does lay down a scan, checking out all the forces by Route to Row. Now charge is done. These Zealots go charging right in. All the force fields going down. Nice pickup going down from these Medivacs, but that's going to cause them some time right there as they take some massive damage. Not getting taken out there, but very nice move from Maker, trying to get back, trying to pull back. He did expand as he pushed, which is also something very nice to see.
I don't actually think he lost a single Zealot in that mix.
I don't
like
think so either.
3 red Zealots, but wow. That is just amazing. Couldn't have been better timing there. And he's actually going straight for the +3 upgrade. Oh my god. I don't know if Maker actively clicks on these units to check the upgrades, and it'd be very interesting to see how many players actually do that actively, because he must be thinking, what the hell is he doing going for all of these armor upgrades? Because in reality, Protoss attack upgrades do actually stack a lot better, but you know, Zealots are very, very good with that armor upgrade. The attack is good, but doesn't make that much of a difference.
That's right.
And especially when you can mix in Guardian Shield, it's just wow.
And it looks like a big transfer going down right now as that third base gets finished up for Maker. This observer checking out the unit composition that's out right now for Maker. He's going to be able to give Dodoro a little bit of insight into what is going on, as we see Dodoro now getting out some more Colossus. Oh boy, we've got a Dark Shrine going down right here, right now. As that Dark Shrine gets placed down, we do see this giant orange blob of Marauders, SCVs, and a few Marines. Yes, only a few, with a lot of Medivacs to pal around there. Fire Silver, this looks like it's going to be the main conflict.
Yeah, and I don't think Maker's going to come out ahead of this. Some nice force fields going down, but these Zealots, oh my god, they're taking just so many hits to kill. And the Colossus doing a good job, and there's just no Vikings on the field. It does have the advanced range though, but these force fields acting like a Sim City, and all these Marauders getting blocked here. So we have more, and a few more Zealots being whooped in, but he just doesn't have the gateway capacity actually at the moment, as he's trying to get those attack upgrades now. But it's 5 gates, and it looks like he will have to sacrifice that third expansion. It may be worth losing that just so he can actually come ahead in this game, because he can reinforce a lot quicker and immediately to his base, and Maker doesn't have the privilege of that.
That's right, that's right. Maker's going to go ahead and stim up, making the smart decision, picking off that Nexus, now getting the hell out of there. Level 3 has finished up here for those armor. As you were saying, level 1 attack upgrade is halfway finished here for Dodoro, as Diderot is losing another Zealot as these forces continue trying to push up against the Marauder and Marines that are out for Maker. Now, Maker, with all these Marauders, man, are just able to lay down such heavy damage to all of the armor units that are up right now for Diderot. But like you said before, those Zealots are so freaking mean.